Okay, well, we are continuing to monitor the economic outlook for Canada in the short term. That would include the impact from higher borrowing costs. Longer term, though, subjects such as productivity, standard of living, and an economic transition are big issues for the country. We're back again with Kevin O'Leary, chairman of O'Leary Ventures. You are here in Canada. You're not always here in Canada these days. But in terms of what you see when it comes to the Canadian economy, what springs to mind?
Missed opportunity is the two words I would use. We are such a wealthy country, and we are so poorly managed from a policy basis. When I think about the tremendous potential the country has in natural resources, which was the essence of its success from the beginning over the last 200 years, and we've ignored it, and we have tried to do many other things that have nothing to do with our core wealth. And I can't help but blame Justin Trudeau for that for the last decade. He's a weak manager, in my opinion, a very successful politician, but a very, very weak manager in understanding what actually makes Canada tick. And I would argue that in trying to attract sovereign wealth, other investors, which create hundreds of thousands of jobs, we've done a very poor job of that. We've made the policy so poor in terms of attracting capital for these massive projects that they just don't come anymore. And whether it's a pipeline or whether it's other natural resources, you know, we find our own pension plans, and I think you saw a lot of press on this recently. They go and invest in natural resources outside of Canada. It's just shameful. It's a real problem. But that's what I would say, and I'm hoping there will be a change in policy in this country, because I would love to invest more in it. I just find it impossible to do so. Well,
one policy that everybody's talking about and just taking effect today is on capital gains taxes and a change on the inclusion rate there. What did you make of that development?
A mistake. An absolute mistake. You have to think about in context of global competition of the G20 when you mess around with corporate tax rates. Corporations are not people. They can move. Structures can move, and they will, and they'll contort themselves if all of a sudden they find a path of least resistance somewhere else. And so I'm certainly involved in that. Most of the accounting firms here have been advising their clients over the last 90 days about all the strategies we're doing to exit Canada, to sell assets here, to pay taxes on them now and move them elsewhere. And so you're starting to see that migration of capital already. And I would argue that that's a policy mistake in terms of the competition between you don't want to be at the bottom of corporate tax rates in the G20, and you don't need to be at the top. You want to be in the middle somewhere. So we're going down into the fourth quartile of competitiveness, which is a horrific mistake, from somewhere in the middle. And again, you know, trying to be, I want to be respect Freeland because she is the finance minister, but I don't know why she's the finance minister. She has no experience at this, and she's never even run a bank. I mean, I don't know. I don't know why she's there, and she's totally unqualified. And here she is making policy mistakes left and right, and here's a bad one. And this costs Canadian. This is Canada. It's very expensive to make mistakes like this. The damage she's doing now will be felt, if it doesn't get repaired immediately, for decades. And so bad managers do a lot of damage, and she is a very bad, underqualified manager. And I don't mean any disrespect. I'm just saying, why can't I have a real finance minister? Why can't I have somebody who actually was involved in financial services in this country? Why do I have that? And she works for me. I'm a taxpayer.
Well, speaking of taxes, the former head of the CPPIB was concerned that this change would pull forward a lot of tax revenue for the current year and the current government, and then create some complications down the road. So if we're trying to find a recipe for tax revenue for Canada in the future, where you can grow the economy, have a productive economy, but not deal with the tax issue by just having overtaxation of your citizens, you talked about the missed opportunity on natural resources. What else do you think we could be doing over the long term?
I've, preparing this, I'm like everybody else. I blew out a lot of assets and I moved them elsewhere. I'm going to pay the capital gains under the old, which I thought was fair.
So you did. You
Oh yeah,
you took steps
everybody
before.
has. I mean,
Yeah.
everybody has done that. It's just the government signaled it. We all made our moves,
yeah.
And that capital won't be coming back here. I think the best thing to do is to do an overall. I look at it this way. I mean, I always want to respect leadership because it's so hard to be a politician. Remember, I tried it once myself.
Yeah.
It's not easy, and I respect what they do. And Justin Trudeau and his cabinet have done, they're very successful in terms of the longevity. But I really believe this to be true now. Canada, as you look at resources per capita, is one of the richest countries on earth run by idiots. And so what I'd like to see is a spatula in terms of policy. A big change here, big change in leadership, big spatula, scrape everybody out of there and start from scratch and reboot the country, Canada 2.0. We could be so competitive here. Look at Norway versus us. Back in the 70s, Norway put energy policy in place that paid a royalty to sovereign wealth. They didn't squander their money. They're the wealthiest people on earth, or one of the wealthiest per capita. And we started the same week with the same oil in Alberta, and we just pissed all that money away in this country. And we could have been Norway. We can do it again, is my whole point. This place desperately needs leadership that understands the potential of the country and what to do in terms of putting the right people in the cabinet positions. You need qualified individuals in the parliamentary system. We have unqualified, weak managers. And I mean no disrespect, but I wouldn't let them run a bodega. I mean, they don't know what they're doing. And, you know, here I am ranting and raving, but I think a lot of people feel this way about this country. So much potential, so squandered, weak leadership. Let's change it.
Well, it's